Hey, welcome back to Argus Hamilton's Comedy Store tonight. And before we get started, I can't wait to introduce our next guest. But I've been asked to let you all know that a lot of our regular Comedy Store fans go on the Comedy Store website, and we got something brand new. You notice our Comedy Store coffee mug. Of course, those are on sale. It's regular Comedy Store. But we got something really cool now. It's the Comedy Store webcast coffee mug. And if you go online and order it, and remember the promo code, which is...
Now, how much can I get this mug for?
I don't know. You can have one for free?
Well, if I were going to go on the website, what are we talking about?
20% off with the promo code.
Of how many dollars?
Podcast.
20% off with the promo code podcast.
20%
Promo code
off of
podcast.
$100 or $10?
It's a pretty good deal.
Promo code podcast when you go on the Comedy Store website and get our brand new Comedy Store webcast. This will mark...
Podcast.
Oh, podcast. All right. This is a telecast, all right? I don't know what a podcast is. I'm not Good Morning Vietnam. This is a TV show. Go on.
I think you're doing great.
I do too.
Yeah.
How often do they get me? Come on.
At least once a week.
Yes, exactly. By God. Anyway, listen, it's a pleasure to bring the guy, a fellow who hangs with comics, and he's a tremendous, colorful guy. He is a former MMA fighter, okay? And he's a stunt man as well, and you see him in the new series that everybody's talking about, Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And let's give it up for Tait Fletcher. I can't wait to get to know him. Tait, nice to see you. Before as we get rolling, tell me about the comedians that you hang out with, the ones that you
Man,
best friends with.
I've been very fortunate in that I got to, through fighting, I ended up meeting Eddie Bravo, who was my jiu-jitsu coach for years. And then I met Rogan through that, and then we just started hanging out. And then I got to go on the road with Joey Diaz, Rogan, and Ari Shaffir for maybe 2 or 3 years, and Duncan Truss, like just that whole kind of group. We just hung
Ari
out
was here
pretty
last
tight
week.
for a long
It was
time.
fantastic.
Yeah, I saw him do his new setup.
Well, this is interesting to me. What led you into MMA fighting? Bar fights?
Just got lucky.
Yeah.
It was a way. It was just a
Were
way
you
for
ever a
me to
member of a fight
focus.
club?
Impromptu, I suppose, but it was a way to get. It was the first time I ever got disciplined, and the first time I like words that I never liked, like being responsible, commitment, just those things I always kind of tried to avoid.
Right.
And it was the first time I really fell in love with something, got passionate, was about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then I started thinking about it. I go, oh, this is something you're committed to. It was the first time I snapped in my life, and I thought, oh, it didn't need to be a dirty word to me. So it was one of the first ways
It gave
I
you
started
structure.
working. Yeah, it was great.
Okay, so how did that lead you into MMA fighting?
It was just the next evolution. It's like once you start competing at high levels, you want to see who you are next under this kind of pressure. And or for me anyway, I mean, I guess guys fight for a lot of different reasons. For me at that time, it was a deeper understanding of who I was. Until you get pressure put on you, nobody really knows who you are. You don't, you know, and people think
We just saw that with this promo.
and then you handle it like
I
a G,
did,
you
right.
know. And but
They know
that
who's boss
comes
now.
that comes from numbers, right? That comes from putting in the work, from being the reps, and you can be at ease then. With
Bombing
the
till you're
craft.
bomb-proof, we call it.
Sure. And so all my failures look like successes to other people.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm not very impressed. So I'm always trying the next thing. And
Well, that's interesting.
That's
So
kinda what led me there.
how long were you an MMA fighter?
about 8 years, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many bouts a year would you fight?
Well, it's funny. I was trying to think of how many fights you have before you have a fight. Like even in training, you know, it's like every day. It's one of the most beautiful litmuses for a young man growing up. I think as far as getting disciplined, being able to enact that, having something that you share. Because really, it's the fidelity of the team that you're with. It looks like a solitary sport, but you create a fellowship, and there's this ecosystem that's real healthy.
When you're training with each other, do you pull punches?
Not much.
Really?
I mean, to some degree, you're not trying to hurt each other, but if somebody's getting ready for a big fight, you're not doing them a favor by going soft. And so you're not
So
necessarily
you hit him in the jaw?
You're not necessarily trying to turn it over or knock them out, but you're showing them where they're weak or where they need to cover themselves. Yeah.
And you're so used to and capable of taking those hits, you appreciate the favor.
Yeah, I mean, you need to know where you're loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how far did you go in MMA?
I got to be on the Ultimate Fighter. when I was, I don't know, maybe 4 years into it or something like that. I'd had a title fight before at the WC that the UFC ended up absorbing later, and then I was an Ultimate Fighter, and then I fought a few fights after that.
Yeah. Well, one thing I always wondered about you guys is that it's because it's so disciplined, it's almost like an Asian serenity around you about your ability to handle yourself. Do you find yourself attracting trouble when you go into bars and stuff, like drunks who will say, yeah, I can tell by your attitude you think you're tough?
I don't know. I worked in bars for a long time, so I just learned how to avoid people and diffuse those. It doesn't happen much. I always live in mind, my coach taught me a long time ago, it's better to buy this guy a beer than to beat him up. Yeah. You get a lot of trouble from, it's easy to be gracious, and it's always the better way. So
yeah.
I think you learn those things,
Yeah, it's a Jesus way of turning the other cheek, man.
Sure.
Yeah,
give it a name, right?
So tell me about Mandalorian. Because it's getting a lot of publicity.
You've been in Hollywood for a couple years.
Yeah.
and
since the Ford administration. Yeah.
It was, I get a call to go in and do an audition. No idea what it's for, sign all these releases.
Yeah.
And then they say, yeah, you got this part. And I go, oh, cool. And because I read it all in English. I open up the show. Anyway, then I get a call from my agent. They say, hey, John Favreau wants you to do this other part too. So I got 2 roles in the show. And then we filmed it last year, and it's kind of the most amazing show I've ever been on. The way they kind of brought comic book creators, or not comic book, but video game creators.
Yeah.
And they brought that science together with like you're on the set and you're in the ice planet, and you're in the fucking ice planet because all you see is there's rows of TVs that are stacked up to the ceiling that all play in unison and they're seamless. So you're looking at one vision of the ice planet, or they put in trails to where it is, or like so I'm inside this bar and I'm looking out the door, and I'm not in a studio anymore. It's a trip. I've never seen anything like it.
It's a huge deal for a TV show.
And it's never been done before. And so that's going on. Werner Herzog is here. John Favreau's directing. Bryce Howard's there directing.
Yeah. Favreau comes here
fucking phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then they said, yeah, you're going to be this guy, and then they lay a language on me, Huttonese.
Huttonese?
So I've got to speak this language. George Lucas has been paying a guy for 20 years to be a linguist. He's developed this beautiful language, and so that's the first thing. Anyway, Monday Night Football, I don't watch football ever,
right.
But I get 48 texts. I'm just watching a movie with a friend, and I go, Jesus, fuck, what? Somebody died, right? Yeah. And I guess halftime at Monday Night Football, they play the trailer, which is, I don't know, a 90-second scene or something of me and the Mandalorian as it opens. And so I played 4 football games in my life because I got in a fight in high school.
Yeah.
And so I like to tell my friends that played professional football that I only had to play the 4 games to get on Monday Night Football. But it was dope, man. And then I went to the premiere, and I got to have my mother come out, who's lived through this long and sometimes horrific, colorful life of my history. Yeah. And we got to walk the red carpet together last week, and go to this premiere of it, and that was real special. So it's just, I don't know, man. Like I said about the fighting.
But she was with you all the way, wasn't
It's like I've been fortunate a lot, and I've been fortunate with the folks that have been around me, and.
Well, you picked an interesting and the perfect group of guys to go running around with as stand-up comics when you toured with them. And
I like them because they're a lot like fighters.
That's what I was going to ask.
You know what I mean? When Ari got divorced, he got married on a whim. Anyway, he gets divorced, but he's kind of shook up by it, even though it was like an open marriage and weird and whatever. And so
you didn't talk about that last week.
But he used to live up here, right on the other side of Pink Dot.
Yeah.
So this is one of my best friends, and he lives in this shithole that's condemned on the other side of Pink Dot now. I think they're tearing it down right now. The last people are out. It's a horrible spot.
Yeah.
It has a pool that nobody's going in. Like, it's awful. And then he moves out of it, moves to New York because he wants to be kind of out of the shadow, and he kind of burned up L.A., and he's going to try his hand out there on the other coast. And I drive up La Cienega once, and there's this big fucking stupid face on this billboard over the shithole, for his special on Comedy Central. And it's just like, things like that. You watch guys stay in the work for a long time, and great things happen.
Just like you did.
But then after, what I was going to say about the fighters is like, you got to face it. You've got to face yourself ruthlessly and honestly. And when the stakes are high, when consequences are high, you've got to come at it honestly. The only way is to the truth, right?
Right.
And Ari knew that. There's the first I fell in love with him. He says, I just met him when he and his wife got divorced. He says, well, I got to go down to the store now pretty soon, and I've been dreading it. And I go, well, why? He says, I've just got to go face up to, the ridicule and the jokes and how you guys kind of tear each other apart. In like, here's the obvious thing that's there. He's got to go sit in that and feel bad and take the jokes and then wear it. And there's also all this love and support in the same way. Because
the jokes are delivered with that spirit.
It's a fierce fucking community of love and fellowship that happens here that is in its vulgarity and in its kind of almost violence that it would look like to some people. There's a real love and safe space here for these comics to be able to grow this art form, which I think is it's the fucking most amazing place.
I never thought until right now how these insult shows they have upstairs, what are they called?
The roast battles.
Roast battles. Those are that's therapeutic for these guys.
When they're done deftly, there's nothing but respect and admiration for these guys.
I know we got Brett, our director, who wins those things. He's the best at it.
It's beautiful,
and, and I never sass him. So, how many episodes of? I keep wanting to say
The
John.
Mandalorian.
Almost.
We can say Star Wars. I'm in fucking Star Wars. Right?
I'm trying not to say John DeLorean, and you probably don't know.
Yeah, in the 80s. He sold cocaine to the FBI.
He made the snow-powered Corvette.
I saw one yesterday in Westwood.
Yeah, Johnny Carson used to drive one too. Never made it to Betty Ford though. So how many episodes?
3.
And
so far, but then I saw Favreau at the premiere. He says, hey, you want to come back for... here's the thing about my second character.
Yeah.
Is, so the Mandalorian is Boba Fett, if you guys know about Star Wars. I don't know if you know who Boba Fett is, but he's a bad motherfucker bounty hunter.
Okay.
Except there's a whole race of these guys called Mandalorians.
Yeah.
And so the heavy infantry Mandalorian...
Well, you're like a whole race of dog to bounty hunters.
So
Okay, I get it.
And then I come and fly in and I save him in this third episode they just aired. And I hope they just aired.
Yeah.
And
so you're the good guy.
Yeah. But it's Favreau's voice.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy? So he says, you want to come play my body again? I said, I'd love to.
Well, so why are they only going to have 3 episodes if they got a Star Wars?
They've got a whole. I'm only in 3.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. They made the whole show, Argus.
They're not going to kill you off, though.
One guy's dead already, and the next guy died. Yeah.
Doesn't look promising, huh?
Rarely is. We're gonna have to get a greatest hits. Like, I want to do a concert T-shirt of all my deaths on the back of it. Just have the date, the show,
Well, speaking of that, did you ever do any bounty hunting?
No.
Oh, I just
Well,
it's an honest
one of my
question.
partners, I got a speaking of this, with the code podcast, you can get 20% off of these. But I own a coffee company called Caveman Coffee.
Oh, tell me about it.
My partner, Keith Jardine, he used to do bounty hunting too. He was a UFC guy as well.
Yeah.
But he used to do that. It seems like I just don't want to force a interaction with somebody that doesn't want to have like you want to have a meeting with me and I really don't want to have a meeting. That your job is to force that.
It's a different personality type.
That seems awful.
Yeah. It's
you really got to talk to people that really don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
It'd be like the worst telemarketer, but in real time.
It's kind of like the hunter and the fox, those type of personalities.
Yeah, maybe so.
Guys break bail just to be chased. I think so. All right, so tell me what else you want to do with your life outside of acting.
Just try not to kill myself before I get to the end. That's it.
Do you plan on doing any more fighting at all?
No. We'll see how the night goes, but nothing organized.
So, what are you plan on going out with Rogan any?
I don't have any plans for that. I think,
Do y'all get along?
No, we do.
Yeah.
We're busy.
Yeah. Did y'all have any crazy stories on the road?
All kinds.
Yeah? Care to share one?
No. He does sometimes,
These people have serious
There's stories
estates.
out there. There's stories out there.
Well, they have serious estates to protect, so I won't push it.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So, anyway, I don't know what else you want to talk about. Tell me.
I don't know. Do we got a clock on this?
No. I'm trying to get everybody to know you. Because you're going to be back, so I want to know as much about you.
You want to know a secret?
Yeah.
I was here before.
Yeah, you showed me. You showed me something.
I don't know if I did.
Yes, you did. That's right. It was summer of last year when we were about the 5th or 6th episode, and you put me in a chokehold.
Did I?
Yeah, that just now came back to me. That's right. So, then what was it you're going to...
I'll surprise you again next year.
No. Could you show me a way how to take down a man twice my size?
Sure. We're gonna need room though.
Oh.
Probably just your wallet at your age. You know what I mean? You just give a guy $20 and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's easier, softer ways.
Yeah. You just don't go east of La Brea.
I'll do all your street fights for you.
Yeah. There's about 3 or 4 places I go, and I'm not going to have any conflicts there.
All right. All right. Well, I want to keep you safe. You're a national treasure.
Well, I tell you, they take good care of me everywhere I go, and I hope everybody takes care of you. I so much want success for you because you really taught me something about fighting and how it's really a mental discipline for people who need it and sought discipline all along.
Sure. In some degree. I mean, a lot of guys I know that if they got well, like emotionally, they probably wouldn't be very good at fighting.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody gets, it's like all paths lead to Rome, kind of. Everybody gets there by different routes, but I think we get similar answers maybe at the end of the day.
That's funny because sometimes if a comedian will come out of an AA meeting and he's just really serene, okay?
I thought you weren't supposed to talk about that.
I'm talking about an AA meeting.
Yeah, isn't anonymous half of that word?
Yeah, east of La Brea it is.
I bet there's a tradition at the level of press, radio, and films you can talk about.
Yeah.
I'd heard it anyway. I don't know much.
Yeah. But anyway, guys will come out of recovery meetings, comedians will, and they'll be serene.
Do you have any names?
Happy? No, it's anonymous.
Now it is.
Yeah. And it's happened to me before. And you come out, you're so serene and at peace with God, you get up on stage and you're not angry enough to be funny. You have to energy.
There are guys that like that anger. Yeah.
And
you ever listen to Eminem?
No, but I know how.
There was a guy named Machine Gun Kelly. You know him?
Yeah.
You do know him?
Yeah.
Different guy. It's not the monster.
No,
he's another rapper. But Eminem said he likes being angry. That's what makes him better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
one of these young motherfucking comics pisses you off, and then you dig in their necks a little bit. Is that what happens?
No, I leave right after my set. I let the young guys just have fun. No, just every now and then
Did you ever do roasts?
No, I don't do roasts.
Like
I don't want to get into that because I don't want people to know how mean I really am.
Do you ever do impressions?
Yes.
What's your best impression?
Bing Crosby.
Oh, yeah? I think nowadays you would have to show a video of who Bing Crosby was. It'd be a whole different thing. I don't think we can do that.
Is Minute Maid still a commercial? Is Minute Maid still a video?
I don't even know if that's a company anymore.
I think Coca-Cola bought it and sold it off for cocaine.
There's not Minute Men either anymore.
Well, then, but I'm still here, so screw them.
Now, how can I get this?
Well, you do. You want a little Bing Crosby?
Yeah, do it with Bing Crosby.
Here at the Crosby Ranch, we love to pick oranges. It's a shame we can't pick our children. Look at Nathaniel here. You know why he looks like a weasel? He's got an 83-year-old paw. He's only 13. He's a mutation. Just like my seedless oranges over here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have you back, and you're going to teach me your chokehold next
All right.
time.
We'll have to practice before.
Okay, we'll do it. Okay. All right. We'll do it.
All right. Maybe we'll go to the gym before.
Well,
we'll do an episode at the gym, maybe.
I don't go to gym.
You don't. Might try something new. What about contempt prior to investigation? I think that'll just leave a man in everlasting ignorance.
I don't want to be around men exercising. Gladiator school.
Well, it's great being here. Thank you, Argus.
Man, Tait, I can't wait to have you back.
Right
You
on.
were an absolute riot. Thank you, buddy.
Man.
Tait Fletcher, ladies and gentlemen. Watch him on Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere.